Today, we're going to unpack the secret to a successful mindset. And you know what? The key is hiding in plain sight, right inside this one single image.
Okay, so let's dive in. Take a look at this desk. We've got a glowing brain, some pretty high-tech design software, and a book. At first glance, it all feels a little disconnected, right? Is this some kind of designer studio? A scientist lab? What's the deal here?
But what if these aren't just random objects? What if they're all pieces of a puzzle, telling a single story about technology, biology, and our own minds? The real question is, what's the story they're trying to tell us?
To solve this mystery, we need to find the central clue. There's one object here that's the key, the thing that unlocks the meaning of everything else on the desk.
Now, I'm guessing your eye probably went straight to that glowing brain model, or maybe the complex design on the computer screen. I mean, they're flashy for sure, but the real key, the piece that makes it all click, is actually the book. And look at the title, The Secret of Self-Talk. Whoa. Okay, so suddenly this isn't about brains and design anymore, is it? It's about something way more personal, the voice that's chattering away inside our own heads. And then the subtitle just spells it out for us, unlocking your inner voice for success. That's the link. The whole scene isn't just about the physical brain, it's about how we can use our inner voice to actually achieve success. This brings us to a really fascinating idea, the concept of designing your inner voice. This image is giving us all the clues we need to see how our thoughts can be intentionally shaped, kind of like how a designer creates a 3D model from scratch. So what exactly is this self-talk? Well, think of it as the narrator of your life. It's that constant voice in your head that's commenting on everything, questioning things, and reacting to everything you do and see, from the moment you wake up. And you know, that inner voice usually falls into one of two camps. There's the constructive voice, the one that sees a mistake and thinks, okay, what can I learn from this? It's all about growth. But then there's the destructive voice, the one that gets stuck on a loop, saying stuff like, I always mess this up. One is a stepping stone, the other's a roadblock. And this brings us right back to our image. See those brain models? They're not just cool decorations. They're there to represent the physical hardware for our thoughts, the biological engine where that inner voice actually lives. So, if the brain is the hardware, then what's that 3D program on the screen? Well, that is a perfect metaphor for our mindset. It's showing us that our thoughts aren't permanent. Just like a designer can tweak, edit, and perfect a model, we can actively analyze and reshape our own inner monologue. So how do we actually do this? You can think of it like a simple 3-step design process. First, just observe. For a day or so, just listen to your inner voice like you're an outsider. No judgment. Second, analyze. What patterns do you hear? Is your inner narrator an optimist, a critic, a worrier? And finally, and this is the real game changer, you reshape. When you catch a destructive thought, you actively challenge it and replace it with a more constructive one. What this whole process really shows us is something incredibly empowering. You are the architect of your inner world. You already have all the tools you need to build it.
So let's put it all together. This single image has given us a complete toolkit for success. The brain, that's your powerful hardware you're born with. The book, that's like the user manual, the knowledge you need. And the software, that's the active mindset you use to consciously design your thoughts. Which brings us to one last really crucial question. Your internal monologue is always at work, building your reality, building your future, one thought at a time. So take a moment and ask yourself, what is your inner voice building?